The Chicago White Sox are just good. 38 and 32, first place in the American League Central. Just took a series off the Los Angeles Dodgers, just took a series off the Atlanta Braves, two of the best teams in Major League Baseball. We don't normally do this, but we've just got to talk about this team as a whole right now because they're one of the most fun, exciting, and also intriguing teams in Major League Baseball, not just right now, but going into this trade deadline. There's a lot to talk about before we get going into it. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Windup so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you.
But first, we want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, SeatGeek. The MLB season's in full swing, the NBA finals are happening right now, the World Cup is here, and you're going to want to go to some games. So use our code WINDUP10 for 10% off your next set of MLB tickets at SeatGeek. What's also great is that SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which means that your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled right after purchase. We've also got the MLB All-Star Game and Home Run Derby coming up later this summer, which are amazing events to catch live. But you can also get tickets to whatever you want. Music festivals, concerts, comedy shows, anything you want. So much out there from SeatGeek. Our favorite feature, of course, is their SeatGeek score, which rates tickets on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know if you're getting a good deal or not. So when you're searching for tickets, if you see a deal with a number closer to 10 or with a green dot on the map, you know it's a good deal. Maybe that's a ticket you should consider purchasing. If you see a deal score closer to 1 or with a red dot on the map, maybe it's not the best deal. You gotta keep looking around, find that special green dot. So once again, we have the hookup for you guys. Use the code WINDUP10 for 10% off your next set of MLB tickets right here at SeatGeek. Click the link in our description right now, download the SeatGeek app, and use our code WINDUP10 for 10% off your next set of MLB tickets at SeatGeek. Thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into it.
And let's talk about those White Sox, James. A team that you were a little bit more hip to, a little bit more hip. Got to give James some credit there. He said that they were going to be a fun team this year. I don't think anybody saw them being in first place on June 16th.
No, and while I said they'd be a fun team, one of the things I pointed to is the fact that I thought the lineup would have enough star power to compete on a daily basis. That was true. And I thought the bullpen would be able to drag them to wins. That's not really true. Kind of true. True-ish. But I think it just comes back to this lineup and the way that this White Sox team has an actual, real-life, unshakable core right now. And one that I think is going to keep getting better. Like, there's some things they're going to regress, of course, for a team that's playing this well. But, like, to maintain this kind of hot streak without Munetaka Murakami, to just get Brandon Montgomery up, for Jacob Gonzalez to look really good in his first 2 weeks of action, for, like, Miguel Vargas, Colson Montgomery, Antonacci, Kyle Teal's about to play his first game as well. Like, this team is... They have such an unbelievable up hour right now. It's joy to watch. It's joy to see the White Sox fans reacting to it.
So sick.
Taking over the city. 3 straight sellouts this past weekend. Do you know the record at home?
I'm looking at it right now. It's unbelievable. It's 24 and 12.
20 and 4 in their last 24.
Oh my God. Oh, they started off horribly at home.
Yeah, but they are completely just taking over. The fans are buying into it. Like, everything is going perfectly right now. It's a joy to watch. They have a fucking Savannah Banana in center field. It's on a 4-win pace.
Tristan Peters.
Yeah.
Prior to dancing and doing TikTok dances, to be fair, Tristan Peters was playing on the summer ball team when they were still like doing like good baseball players and not just guys who were dancing on the field for, 50-year-old moms who take their kids to the game. But the White Sox, like you mentioned, this lineup, it's one of the most productive lineups in all of Major League Baseball this season. Top to bottom, almost everybody is hitting. Like you mentioned, Kyle Teal's going to come back. That's kind of been their weak spot. Right now, you've got Chase Mydroth, who's got a 752 OPS, who's getting on base, doesn't have a ton of pop, but he's getting on base, being a good defensive second baseman right now. That's all you need. Colson Montgomery, who is not necessarily getting on base, but has 17 homers, driving in runs, playing good defense at shortstop, finding a way to be valuable.
Great defense.
Miguel, great defense. Like something that we thought would maybe be a little bit more shaky for him. The hitting, its power, and the glove has been incredible. That works. Miguel Vargas, what a season for Miguel Vargas. This dude should be an all-star without a doubt this year. An 860 OPS, 370 on base, hitting home runs, stealing bases, and for someone who's been horrible defensively, has been completely fine at third base, which is, again, a massive, massive win. Sam Antonacci, the Paisan, has been so good for this team. Tristan Peters, you mentioned, great defense, and they're getting really good offense out of him. I don't know how long it lasts, but they're getting good offense. And then even... shout out Andrew Benintendi. He saw the vision. He was there early. He's not been good this year, but he's been so much better than what he's been. A league average hitter for Andrew Benintendi hitting towards the bottom of this order, that's massive for this White Sox team.
He does not hit towards the bottom of the order. He hits the smack dab in the middle of it most days.
They should hit him towards the bottom of the order.
He's the guy that I'm curious if he might lose his spot when Munetaka Murakami comes back, and Jacob Gonzalez might be too good of a hitter at that point to take out of the lineup. But again,
correct.
We'll cross those bridges when we get to them. I think one of the most encouraging things about this White Sox team is that these were, even a lot of the prospects and these major league players we're talking about now were relatively written off inside of the White Sox organization themselves before hitting this second gear. Like a guy like Jacob Gonzalez, I've kind of been obsessed with his story recently because after being a first round pick from Ole Miss, he sucked in the minor leagues. He was unplayable. Yes. He was so bad that it looked like he was never ever going to be anything close to an impact major leaguer, even just a major leaguer in general. He was under 100 WRC plus every single year as an SEC graduate, which is terrible in the minor leagues. His ISOs were barely scraping 100. And now he has this season, he makes a swing tweak. That was courtesy of Baseball America. And all of a sudden, he's a monster power hitter again. Colson Montgomery was horrible for like 3 straight minor league seasons. He's come to the major leagues and looked like, again, he's playing at an all-star pace. And a lot of these people in player development for the White Sox, Bannister on the pitching side, Paul Janisch, former big leaguer, he's their director of player development in general. Like there's so many people who definitely deserve so much credit in this organization. Miguel Vargas doing what he did over the last 2 years at the major league level, then popping off finally. Like there's so much good coaching and so much good development infrastructure on this team that it makes me even more confident.
Yeah, and the addition of Braden Montgomery, like I'm so glad to see him up. He had an unbelievable start to his major league career so far.
Coolest
through
debut
5
ever.
games, walk-off home run in his debut. They did that like retro broadcast, which looked so cool. Like the White Sox right now are itching every little piece of my brain that unfortunately our favorite team can't do, which is like fun, good baseball, good vibes, everything around the White Sox right now, which seems insane to say. It's been a big week for bad ownership right now. Jerry Reinsdorf is up. James Dolan is up. Big week for bad owners.
Even like the whole, I mean, it's not the whole thing, but this White Sox team is just seems like they have so much fun. They enjoy each other's time together. And I think the one guy who's brought them together more than anything else, you just weirdly brought up the Mets, Mike Vasil, who is basically like, he kind of mixes between like a long reliever and regular reliever on this team. I actually don't even think he's on the active roster right now. I believe he's injured.
Hurt. Yeah.
But Mike Vasil pulled out this magic wand towards like the end of April. And all of a sudden, he's blessed this entire team. Like it was right before Jacob Gonzalez's first career home run last Saturday. John Kruk and Tom McCarthy were like, "What's going on? Is that a magic wand?" And because Mike Vasil was like, Expelio Petrosis, whatever Harry Potter bullshit, to Jacob Gonzalez to the plate. Next pitch, 430 into the upper deck. And they were like, whoa, I think that thing just worked. But like him and Murakami do it together for the celebrations when Murakami was still healthy. Like they're having so much fun as a ball club right now. It's a joy to watch.
And it's really interesting, too, to see how they've done it. Like, they have a winning record against the Braves. Again, it's a small sample, but they took a series from the Braves.
They won 2 against the Braves. The last one got rained out.
Took a series from the Cubs, took a series from the Dodgers, took a series from the Padres, split the series with the Mariners, took a series from the Blue Jays. Like, they're kind of clearing, like, that middle path. Like, they've owned the Royals this year. I think they've owned the Twins so far this year. Like, they have beat all those teams that are kind of floating in the middle right now, and then getting these series wins against these good teams. It does feel like the White Sox are on the precipice of maybe breaking through and being a team that could try and be, I'm not going to call the White Sox a contender just yet. There's still so many good teams in the American League, and I do still think that this team has issues. There's things that can be addressed, but also it's one of the things that makes them super, super exciting as a possible buyer at the trade deadline. Like, the White Sox have a chance to run away with the AL Central, especially because the Guardians, almost called them the Indians, the Guardians losing Jose Ramirez indefinitely with that hamate injury. This is a moment where the White Sox should absolutely pounce. The Tigers suck. The Royals suck. The Twins are going to sell. Almost everybody in this division might sell, and your one contender is the Guardians, and their best player is not going to play for a while.
Yeah, I'm on the flip side with you about that. I think the American League is awful. It's not good at all.
It's the Yankees.
Yeah.
The Yankees are by far the best team in the American League. But I don't think the White Sox are going to push past the Yankees in a 7-game series if that came to it.
No, but we're not thinking about that right now. We've it's the middle of June. We have a long way to go there. We're not even the halfway point of the season. But I think this White Sox team would be foolish from just like a mentality stand base, not to buy a little bit. Like you shouldn't be selling pieces. Like you should still be holding on airtight to guys like Montgomery, Noah Schultz, Hagen Smith, the guys who still you want to be part of the next era of this team. Like before the season, people were talking about selling Munetaka Murakami. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. But like just getting a starting pitcher on the fringe, like finding your way into like a mid-rotation guy, getting another reliever. Because while this White Sox team from last year, they went from the 27th best defensive team by Fangraphs run value at -41. This year, they're in the top 10 at +7. They have the 6th highest OPS of any team in baseball right now at 737. Last year was 675. That was 28th. They're starting pitching, and pitching overall still kind of middle of the pack towards the bottom third. But they have a good team, and a team that you can't really say much about anymore. It's not a great team, but it's definitely a good team. And one in a weak American League, like like you said, they have a clear path to winning their division. And if you win your division, you have a clear path to winning a playoff round. If you win a playoff round, anything can happen.
Like, I'm super interested to see what this team that I think in the month of May they went 18-10 because they've basically played 500 baseball the rest of the year, had a really good month of May, and they just took 2 big series again off the Dodgers and the Braves. But I'm interested to see what this team even looks like now with Murakami when everyone else is clicking, because when Murakami was playing, it was a slightly different version of this offense. Right now, when Kyle Teal gets back, 1 through 9, it's like it's a tough at bat for every single pitcher that goes out there. And I feel like the player that, like, again, Murakami's going to get the headlines. I feel like Colson Montgomery's getting it too. But, like, Miguel Vargas, the step up that he's taken this year from a guy who was kind of on the fringe of, like, is this going to be a real Major League Baseball player? We'd seen sparks. We've seen shines. We saw weeks at a time where Miguel Vargas has shown it. But it looked like the classic thing that the Dodgers have done over the last few years, which was hype up this prospect, get him hype, and then trade him off, get some good pieces to help you win, and then that guy just turns into nothing because you traded him to a team that didn't have the pieces in to do player development. But, I mean, what a turnaround I feel like with the White Sox and their player development right now. You mentioned Jacob Gonzalez, you mentioned Colson Montgomery. It seemed like they were horrible at it, that they had no clue what to do to fix guys, and then all of a sudden this year, everybody's fixed.
I mean, Antonacci's a huge success story in that basis as well. Like, he was a 5th-round draft pick, I'm pretty sure. He's small. He
was 5th round out of Coastal Carolina.
He just hit his first outside the park home run this past. I think that was this weekend against the Dodgers. Even that series against the Dodgers, like, they basically only scored runs in 2 separate innings of a 3-game series, and they won 2 out of the 3 games. Like, they almost got perfectoed on Saturday. We missed that because that was right before the Knicks, but Yoshinobu Yamamoto almost did that. And then it took them till like the 4th or 5th inning to get their first hit on Sunday. Like this, but there's just no quit. I think, again, a guy like Antonacci embodies that. He's really found his stride after a few years where he felt like more of a fringy guy. They have more levers to pull. Again, just calling up Brandon Montgomery now, having Jacob Gonzalez to back up Murakami, it's like, this organization has depth. And I think the one thing, again, that will need to tie this team together if you want to actually lock this down, like, just get them some veteran pitcher to go in the middle of this staff and be the guy who can, like, everyone else can rally around, because Anthony Kay and Davis Martin have been phenomenal so far. So phenomenal, like, I can't even believe it. So phenomenal, I can't believe it. I don't know if it's going to continue. Like, Sean Burke is passable usually. Eric Fetty has his moments, but pretty bad most of the time. They need help there for sure. That's the thing that's not going to last. I think the bullpen will look better, but they need some starting pitching to show up.
Yeah, no, the starting pitching is where I think they definitely have the opportunity to actually, like, go for the, like, so-called kill shot in terms of the AL Central. There's going to be a lot of starting pitchers, it feels like, available this trade deadline.
You think?
They're not going to get... Yeah, I do. I think Joe Ryan's going to be available, I think, again. I think the Mets have 2 guys that they would happily take. They would love to get Freddie Peralta or Clay Holmes on this team without a doubt. I think you look around the league, look at the teams in the bottom. Like, there's even opportunity to kind of get Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha. A lot are in their own division, but like they're all on expiring contracts, which is like something that I think the White Sox should be interested in. Even if you wanted to go get, like you mentioned, a veteran, go get some like guys just to eat innings at the back end, so you don't have to do Eric Fetty. Guys that are better than him, like even a Chris Bassett from the Orioles, who I don't think is particularly good, but like a veteran who will probably give you 6 every day, so your bullpen can get a little bit of a rest. I think there's so much opportunity for the White Sox to just get better, and it wouldn't really even cost them that much.
Oh, you know who I want? It's coming home. Jose Quintana.
Oh, well, yeah, he's guaranteed to be a White Sox.
He's going to be a White Sox for next. But that's also the thing, because the White Sox are in that spot right now, and I think the Cardinals have found themselves in that spot this year as well. We've seen a team like the Orioles do this about 4 years ago now, where if you have a very disciplined front office that doesn't want to push in chips ahead of where they think their team is ready, you're not going to get, again, like we said, a full buy-off trade deadline right now. And I don't know if that's necessarily the right decision either. Like, I don't know if the White Sox should be super buying right now, but you have to plug and play. Like, I think the Braves are going to do this as well this year, just because they don't have prospects to trade. But like, you basically just want to get what other teams are considering their garbage and turn it into treasure.
I do feel like the White Sox, one of my predictions, which again will be in a video maybe later this week for you guys about trade deadline, they should be all over Aroldis Chapman. I feel like if that's the one big piece that they're going to go for, like bring him into that bullpen, now it feels a little bit different there.
I mean, no one has more lefties than the White Sox.
Yeah, but like they're not Aroldis Chapman.
No, of course, no one's Aroldis Chapman. But
like you need a power arm.
Yeah, I mean, they have two power arms to back, no power lefties. But I mean,
Yes.
I are technically a power lefty-ish, but like Taylor, Dominguez, Newcomb is not a bad back three of a bullpen. That's not like a playoff winning bullpen, but
No.
that could be an AL Central winning bullpen. But you're right.
Could be an AL
If
Central,
that was
yeah.
the one spot they would push in, maybe that's what you do. But also, it's a shame that Tanner McDougal is injured because he would have been a
Yes.
guy that could slide right in. David Sandlin had one great start, two bad ones. We'll see about that. Shane Smith's injured. Hagen Smith, we're getting rumors. I think he gets a spot start at some point this year, but he's kind of weirdly has the same problem as Noah Schultz, where it's like the stuff is crazy, but I don't think he knows where it's going half the time. So much fun, so many options for this team. I'm curious how aggressive they actually wind up.
I think they're going to be weirdly aggressive. I do think that they're going to be probably, again, more in what you were saying of the trying to find like the guys that are going to be free. Like, oh, we'll give you a 17-year-old from the Dominican and we'll take in one of your Major League Baseball players. Because, like, on the fringe is where they definitely can improve without going crazy. Because there are still some, like, guys on this roster every single day where you're like, what are we doing? Like, Luis Angel Acuna has no business being on a Major League roster. I feel like Edgar Carroll might get sent down and it's going to be Drew Romo and Kyle Teal.
Yeah, I agree with that. But also, again, there are so many teams who are still kind of technically half and half in the race, and all the ones who actually want to sell are already in the White Sox own division. I'm curious of how they're able to operate in this trade market, especially because, like, we know like half the league hates Jerry Reinsdorf. They're not going to want to help him in his magical season. So it's like
It also doesn't help Reinsdorf's whole, like, definitely wanting to lock out when he's like going to go take on money to try and be a better team this year.
Yeah, exactly. Like, who's this jerk? This guy's scabbing on us right now. But especially, it's not going to help the fact that the American League and the National League, like, you could basically be a 500 team and make the playoffs this year.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens. We know how that's affected buyers the last few deadlines, but White Sox are in it. They're fun. If you guys are White Sox fans, congratulations. This is awesome.
Also, the Chicago Bulls City Connect jersey rocks.
Is that the one you're wearing?
No, I'm wearing the original. I mean, this is Luis Robert original South Side one. I thought that they completely screwed up by not bringing this one back. The Bulls one rocks.
The Bulls. I mean, everything the White Sox do right now is cool. It really does. There's no impact to me. Like, oh, cool. That was the one Montgomery wore that the other day. Was that the debut game or no? That was the second game.
That might have been the second game. The Reds or the Bulls one was, I think, when Miguel Vargas hit that home run and like the place was going crazy for his walk off.
Imagine we're watching these White Sox games. Like, I'm watching White Sox games on a regular basis. This kind of feels like 2 years ago, and I was like, yo, this Blue Jays team, keep an eye on these guys.
They're the best team in Chicago.
Absolutely the best team in Chicago. Don't tell Cubs fans.
Don't tell Cubs fans. One of the best teams in the American League. We'd love to know what you guys think about the White Sox. Down in the comment section below. Shout out Will Venable as well, by the way.
Yeah,
We called him a leader of men. Couldn't have hit that better. We did an amazing job with seeing that one ahead of time.
I mean, that was a great tier list. That was fun to make.
Great tier list. But subscribe to the Windup if you guys enjoy it. Follow James on social media at
James Chiano.